I don't know. Okay, I don't know yet if depopulation, if we need more or less human beings on the planet. But just using my logical situation when I'm looking at it, it's like, fucking hell, there's a lot of us. When I go to beaches in Vietnam or on holiday and I see all this absolute waste fucking washed up on the sides, I'm thinking, and I see like these, like the mass scale of Amazon and all like the absolute nonsense and these mass scale factory farms and shit. You know what, brother? I think maybe a few less of us might not be the worst thing.
Agreed.
And
I
it's
don't
not.
think Sadhguru even.
One.
Here's the thing. I don't think Sadhguru even tells you to like not give birth. He's just telling you like the main point behind whatever he's saying is just to like even if you're like giving birth to more children, do it more consciously so that it doesn't affect the world in a negative way because we're already too many, right?
Yes.
Because Michael, you do have some valid points. Because like the government and everything has to be changed for the better, and obviously more people should be fed. But I don't think Sadhguru ever said like you shouldn't popularize just because I'm saying so. All like the main point behind what he's saying is just do it consciously,
Yes.
so that like you're not doing anything to harm anyone else.
He literally said he's for depopulation and he wants less souls on Earth.
Yes.
I don't think that's what he meant.
I've seen that thing.
No, he just said it. He didn't mean it. Right. That's what
Hold
it
on,
is.
hold on.
Yeah.
Look, he said it's not about him throwing human beings off the planet, like you're suggesting. It's your sexuality needs to be a little bit more conscious instead of popping children every 5 seconds. Like, see what you're doing, buddy. You don't need 10 or 15 of them, especially in the first world country. Okay, you don't need 20 Amazon packages every day in your house.
Well, I didn't misinterpret that. I understand that that's what he was pointing to, that we need to reproduce less. I'm saying that's still the lie. And the fact that he did it on a forum of people who are all about the most comprehensive agenda of depopulation, it's very inconvenient. And the point is that the lie actually is that the world's overpopulated, and we can have a logical argument to present
each
the
other.
evidence about that.
To kill
And I can
each other, bro.
that
That's
it's
So-
solved.
Yeah, you don't think the world is overpopulated? I'm in Toronto. There's a shitload of human beings here. Okay, it's like everywhere I go, there's everybody.
I'll present the evidence that I have, and you can present the evidence that you have.
Okay, I just presented
90%
mine.
of what's
Guys,
presented in media, bro, are made so that you believe that conflict is a part of life. And that's a fact. They're all led by the same, like, 3 or 2 companies, if you really look up. Like,
Conflict
if
is a
you
part of
ask
life,
where's the
buddy.
money coming from, who is sponsoring you, where you get your studio, everything from,
Yes, go
It's
look at
really-
nature.
orchestrated by a few circles.
Can I-
That's all I'm gonna say.
Can I say something about the overpopulation thing?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, who are you gonna have a more deep, close connection with like 3 people or 20 people? Like,
3
what
people.
are the chances of understanding each other better with 3 people or 20 people? Obviously, 3 people because it's closer, and once a message is conveyed, it's not gonna get completely diluted because it's gonna go through 20 different channels, and eventually the original message gets lost. And that's basically what's happening with overpopulation, I believe. I think
Yeah.
it's real. Personally, I think it's real.
Haley,
yeah.
what do you think? Do you think Sadhguru is planning a depopulation agenda and we're all just pawns in this game?
Endorsing a depopulation agenda.
Endorsing, excuse me. Whatever she says, the truth goes. She knows what she's talking about. Haley. No comment. No comment, you
No
see?
comment,
That's why.
No comment
I can
inside.
I can
That means
present
yes.
some pretty simple evidence as to why the world isn't overpopulated.
Tell us. We're dying to hear.
Please.
So one, there's no limit to how we can change the way we live on this earth, which means we can be infinitely more sustainable with the resources that we have. That alone
The consciousness
allows
is
us.
too low for that. Sorry,
Pardon
go
me?
ahead.
Yes, whoever said that is got it bang on the head there.
Yeah, the consciousness is too low for that.
Oh,
Most people don't even know shit. Like, honestly, I'm not trying to be negative, but most people don't know shit. And if you're gonna put faith in that, bro,
yes.
there's
This is-
also
this is
infinite
the-
ways
the
of fucking it up.
point- The point is to
This is-
reproduce in a conscious way. That's the point. That's what we're all talking about. Not the depopulation or how many human beings. It's like, buddy, can you do the act and not be, in your sensuality?
when he says
I just-
he wants. So here's the danger: is that he said he's for
No,
the.
if you're gonna say this less
population.
souls thing, though, Mike.
No,
you
I'm
need to watch
quoting
the
him.
full figure. Look, there's only
I
one.
have watched the whole thing. This is the
Yeah,
concept.
but I've
that
seen it. But
that he
it's
said
called.
the wo-
I've seen the thing that you're talking about. But you've got to look at context, brother. You got to look at context. Look, at the end of the day,
the
there's
context
one
was he
soul.
said it on a platform of people who are actually on the agenda of depopulating the world. That's the
I
context.
God, buddy.
No,
we're
bro.
not.
Here's the
No,
thing.
but
Just
we
because he
talk-
said it, that doesn't mean people are gonna
Look,
listen to him, right? You have to
It's
understand the
really far away.
context and the
So
point
it's so ridiculous.
behind it.
Sadhguru,
Tell
Sadhguru.
me, how do you translate he wants less souls on the earth to living more sustainably?
Michael, look, honestly, we have to be careful about this conspiracy brain rot situation. Okay, look, you have to keep looking into this deeper.
You have
okay?
to be
Because look,
careful
if
about this
Sadhguru was doing this,
spiritual bypassing
Let him
and
talk.
endorsing.
Jesus.
said it for a while.
Shut up.
When you start the issue with labeling me as a brain rot conspiracy
He
theorist,
has
Let
looked
him-
deeper
let him
than
label
all
you,
of
let
you
him
together
finish.
have, bro. He has looked pretty deep, and that's why he's so convinced of what he's saying. Because he
Look.
knows. He's not suspecting. He saw it, and
By the
now he
way-
knows. And now you're
Having-
insulting him, and now he feels like what the
Having
fuck is
less
happening?
souls on the planet doesn't mean we're gonna throw you off. It means
have
you
to
gotta be more
whisper.
conscious.
If
Make
it's
less
one-
children in an unnecessary way. Go ahead, Reese.
but it's a complete assumption. It's not an
Yeah,
accurate assessment.
you're assuming too,
of the
buddy.
carrying
I
capacity of the world.
would
He's
like to
not
think I know a
assuming. He
little bit about
researched
Sadhguru.
what he talked about, bro. He's literally researched all
Oh,
of
he
it.
researched it, did he? Oh, really? Did he research it?
Well,
Did you?
Yes,
Did you?
I've researched it
Find out
much
if
heavier
I
than
You
do.
him.
haven't.
Yes, I have.
Instead of
I didn't read a
assuming, just
fucking
ask me.
notes on an internet. Okay, I went to the Isha
So you
Center.
know,
That's
that
not a place for
Sadhguru is part of
depopulation.
the WEF forum, or whatever
I
you call
hope
it.
he's part of the Illuminati and way more than that. Okay, I hope he's
He
part of
probably
everything.
is too. Yeah, probably.
I hope so. He'll do some
I
good there.
know what
Otherwise, some
Kokum
accident
sounds
would
like.
have happened to him. Trust me, some
Yeah,
accident
yeah.
would have already happened.
Sure,
to a
sure,
person
sure.
like him.
Is that your assumption, or do you know
I
for
know what
sure?
it sounds like when someone is blindly defending their spiritual leader. It's okay.
Not blindly
but-
offending.
No, but I'm still not convinced of the underpopulation or
We're
overpopulation.
feeding 100 billion land animals to murder them every single year. That's 10 times the size of the world's population, murdered every 10 years, and they
Yeah.
eat more than we do. So
You
we
need-
could
That's what he's talking
literally
about.
have 100 billion humans living on the earth,
Are
10
you
times
vegan?
more than the world's population right now.
Are you vegan?
Imagine your response is,
Michael,
are you vegan?
Michael,
to the
Michael,
fact
I don't
that
think
you have
anyone-
animals that I just
I don't
presented.
think anyone is denying what you're saying.
You have to let him talk.
Okay, well, I
Just
just
let him
proved the fact that we're not overpopulated.
No, here's
So
the
then
thing.
we
Here's the
should
thing. So if you
be
just
talk. You're right. But let him
if
now
one
answer.
family just goes on
Just let me
giving
talk.
birth to like many children, don't you think there
Let
are
me talk.
families who doesn't have any jobs and they're regretting giving birth to like too many children afterwards? That is also like a valid reason, no?
No, but
Don't
let
you think?
him run on dry scent by replying to what you just said about the animals we feed and the amount of that, because that's like 50 times the size of the world population if we take a little population. If we
That's
take a
the
big
fact.
one, it's like still a lot of the time. So
all
how can
you
there
should
be a
not eat
reason
meat.
to reduce the world population from like 8 billion or whatever to like what they want, like 500 million, I think they said, like 500 million, to like literally kill like 90% of people on Earth? That's the thing. That's what we need to do. That's like the rational decision here.
What you
That's
need to
like,
do is stop eating
that's like
meat.
the loving
Little
and the
god
high
boy.
frequency and the unity we're
It's
all
not
talking
even-
about, the
It's
spirituality.
not even working now, man. It's not even working now. So how should it work with even
I'll
more?
tell you why
murder
it isn't
more
working. I'll
animals?
tell you why. Because Hollywood is the wood out of which a wand is made, and it's the name of your favorite movie and biggest movie studio where all the fashionable and all the famous people live that get all
Wait.
the money and appear on
You
Instagram with
enlightened
billions
us.
of followers.
I
Yeah,
simply-
sure. Say I'm
I
lying, but
simply made
Murder
the-
more
the thing
animals,
is-
then?
no. Think about this. Every Hollywood movie, every big movie from big companies, they all have war in it. They all have killing in it. They all make it like a natural thing. The camera swings, somebody dies here.
Yeah, you
Of
love
course, wars are part of history, right? Wars are part of history. But the question is, do we always have to repeat the same mistakes? And the question is, do these movies take part in making our collective consciousness more ready for war?
Buddy,
more
you
ready
have
for
death on
repeating
your
the same
dinner
mistakes,
plate.
more ready to acting like Hitler
You
again?
got death on your dinner
Isn't
plate,
it-
buddy.
Isn't
You
it
know
like
when
this?
to talk.
Oh, now you're going to my dinner plate. All right,
You
let's
eat
talk about what
corpses,
I
buddy.
ate today. I ate some peanuts, fajita style. I ate what did I ate a vegan burrito because I'm vegan now. I ate
Wow.
bananas. I ate oranges, bro. I ate.
Jesus.
Yeah, I ate some popcorn. I'm not gonna lie,
This
but that
Discord
no
is
animal I think in
changing.
there. So what's the problem?
Congratulations. Good job.
So
No
now
problem.
we can move on from that, right? We can talk about the actual
Let's move
thing.
on to something
Right.
else. Yes.
I'm glad we proved that the
Yeah.
world isn't overpopulated.
Bro, you
Yeah.
didn't prove
Well,
shit.
But look, I think what could be interesting is so what, right? Across the whole topic, right? Like all this stuff's going on. There's big players out there, right? This is kind of where we started. Like there's work here, right? So what are you conscious of? What can you do? What is actually inside of your capability to actually change, modify in yourself or your family or your community? Because what
More
I
than we
find
believe.
is we run through this conspiracy masturbatory thing. Some people feel like that's doing something. And I'm also not saying don't point it out, but it becomes its own kind of trap. And then there's this complete abdication of what you actually could be doing in yourself or in your life.
Right. There's a trap on both sides. There's a trap to spiritual bypassing, and there's a trap to becoming super paranoid about the conspiracy.
Yeah, I
Have
think
you-
that's fair.
I'm not
Have you been
paranoid,
to
I'm
the
just
Isha Yoga Center?
realistic. Dog, I'm not paranoid. I'm
I just want to know,
realistic.
have you been to the Isha Yoga Center, Mr. Question Mark, Michael?
To the which?
Sadhguru's ashram, Isha Yoga Center.
No, I have not.
Why not? You said you did some research. Wouldn't you go there to do the ultimate research?
Bro.
That's not a great argument.
No, it's not.
That's Sadhguru's home. It's an ashram built for 20, 25 years. That's the thing. If you really want to expose him, instead of reading some one article online, why don't you go to the Isha Yoga Center? Hey, maybe you'll learn something.
There's a lot of people on my target, and that doesn't mean I have to go visit them just to understand. What the
Oh, you're a
situation
hitman.
is.
I got you. You're a busy guy.
I think
Have you
choose to
visited
see.
Epstein Island?
Is he saying that Sadhguru is evil or what?
Yeah, that's
Have you
his.
visited Epstein Island?
That's his energy. What? Island?
Have you visited Epstein's Island?
No way. Why would I go there? It's disgusting.
Because he's not.
To see for yourself. That what they're
Otherwise-
doing is not
otherwise you
very,
can't say
very
anything.
pleasuring.
Yeah, well,
And,
that's not a spiritual
oneness.
place. I would go there if there's a spiritual place or to some temples, but
It's very spiritual, bro. In fact, it's one of the most spiritual places because
Yeah.
they do very spiritual stuff. They're very spiritual rituals.
Oh, okay.
We're not talking about the nature of them, but they're very spiritual.
well,
very.
I think even if I wanted to go, I'm not invited there. It's a private island. It's not a tourist place. It's not a yoga
yeah.
center.
I think
you have to be friends with them, of course.
That's
Before.
almost certainly not true. They're not doing satanic rituals on an island. That's ridiculous.
Oh,
I think what Shiva's
absolutely
trying to
ridiculous.
It's not satanic at
Oh
all,
my
bro.
Jesus,
That's
shut-
definitely so normal, bro.
Hey.
You're so right, bro. And yeah, I'm not gonna keep
They're
talking
not-
because it's gonna get.
They're
crazy,
not
bro.
doing satanic rituals. They've done very bad things
surely
on
not.
Oh, you've
Epstein's
been there.
Island, but it's nothing spiritual.
Why
No,
would
I
how do you
Very
know?
bad
Why would
things
you
that are very
assume
satanic are
normal?
not spiritual. They are spiritual and they're very bad and they're satanic. You're just negating the
Well,
obvious. You're just saying
Aren't
no
aren't
to
good
something
and
that
bad
is
man-made concepts?
no. They're obviously like real things. Like good and bad are real things. I can prove it to you this way, bro. Very, very person to person, very without belief system. If I put my hand on the stove,
No.
we can all agree it's very bad if it's turned on, right? Or can't
agree.
we? Right. So
no, it would
obviously
be
there is
bad. It would
something.
be bad for you. It would be bad for you and your loved ones.
Okay, and you can put, okay, then please go video right now how you put your hand on the stove when it's on, bro, please. You won't do it, okay, right. We all know that.
Because it's
So,
bad for me. I wouldn't do it because
Right,
it's bad
right.
for me.
exactly.
Oh my God!
Well,
Stop with
people
this.
work endless
But that
jobs.
doesn't prove
Just
that
stop.
that's not true.
There's no
Spirituality in a
philosophy
nutshell.
here. We're not here discussing philosophy. Is it good or bad? All right, go
But
read a
that is
book about it.
spirituality, bro. That's not philosophy. It's bad
It's
for you, so you
bad.
don't do it. That's spiritual. That's very spiritual,
It's
right?
very bad. You're a very bad boy.
Yes, right. That's spirituality. And then you do
Yes.
the good, right?
Well, it's all perspective too, because what one person thinks is good, another person may see as bad. It depends on the
Right.
situation.
But that
Because
doesn't
there's-
make the good or bad, really. The thing
Well-
is, like, good or bad in the situation, but not the way, just because you think of it as good or bad. It's good or bad because of the impact it has on you. Or on people around
yes,
you, which
but-
in extension has an impact on you as well. because you
But if
notice
the impact on you is positive and for another person it's negative, then it's a different perspective for both people. If one person likes to be a player and the other person doesn't, one person's going to perceive that as good versus bad.
So then
And good or
how do
bad,
we
that's why I'm saying good or bad are just dualities.
no, but
just
how do we then
depends.
determine what is really bad? Like how do we really say don't do this and do this? Why do we have laws that determine
Because there's
something is
life,
bad, something is
because
okay?
you're choosing between life and decay. What's good for life is going to be good per se, and what's
Per
bad
se.
is going to be more death driven. And it's also personal versus group. Cult versus individual as well for many different things.
For rituals, for example, it's one individual with maybe more individuals than one, with maybe more individuals than one, and
Well,
they have an exchange.
like Sadhguru says, when you're getting hurt physically, that's an obvious indicator that there's a bad sensation or a non-preferential sensation going on. But mentally, no one can harm you. Only you can choose to be harmed in your own mind.
Okay, so a question. Before you choose to get harmed, can you still get harmed in some way? Or is it impossible to get harmed before you choose it? Is it always you're choosing before you get harmed? Real quick question.
So that
Be
goes
honest.
back to sensations. It's a physical sensation. If it's mentally, no, depending on how you think about something, mentally will choose your physical state.
Yeah. So can we all agree that Sadhguru is an
Perspective.
amazing guy? Just before we
Yes.
go.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Agreed. Okay.
Pretty chill dude.
Yes.
I mean, he's solid, he's doing a lot, so he's definitely not to be dismissed, right? Definitely not. But everyone who does great things, I think they're even more worth to criticize, because by criticizing them and them changing, you already accomplish a lot when they do a lot better, because they have a lot more energy than maybe people who are criticizing them, right?
Oh my
Which
god.
I don't think is a bad thing. I think even someone who gets criticized can see something good in that.
Wow. That's amazing.
Everything great and dastardly is temporary too. It's like human beings are minuscule compared to the vastness that is life on this planet and in the universe. So we also think of ourselves as way more important than we actually are, and that's what drives a lot of ego-driven choices
Of course.
or desires.